There's a fierce battle between the Indians and the cavalry, and the cavalry is wiping out all of the Indians. Finally, the battle comes to an end, and the only survivor is the chief of the tribe. And the officer in command goes to him and says, "You fought a really noble battle, and for that, I'm going to spare your life." The chief looks at the cavalry officer and says, "Thank you. You're a gentleman. I appreciate it." And as he's thanking him, over the hill comes thousands more Indians, and they surround the encampment, and they kill all of the cavalry except for that one officer. And he's brought in front of the chief. The chief looks at him and said, "Well, you were really kind to me. I'm not going to be so generous, but I will grant you 3 wishes before we burn you at the stake." And the cavalry officer says, "Well, for my first wish, I'd like to see my horse." So they bring his horse over to him, and the officer goes over and whispers in the horse's ear. The horse gallops away. About a half hour later, the horse returns, and on his back is this gorgeous blonde. The chief looks, smiles, and he says, "Okay, you can use my teepee." And the officer goes in with the blonde. Then after a half hour, he comes out smiling. Chief looks at him and says, "What would you like for your second wish?" And the officer looks at him and says, "I would like to see my horse again." They bring the horse back. The officer goes, whispers in the horse's ear. The horse gallops off. A half hour later, the horse returns, and he's got this gorgeous redhead on his back. The chief looks at the officer, winks, and says, "Go ahead. Use my teepee again." The officer goes in, spends time with her, and comes out. Chief looks at him and says, "Well, you have one more wish. What do you want to do with that final wish?" Once again, the cavalry officer says, "Bring me my horse." They bring him his horse. He takes him aside. He whispers into his ear, as closely into his ear as he can. And he whispers, "I said, posse. Bring me some posse."